Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the Arrowhead Addict halftime show. Patrick Allen, Matt Verderham, Sterling Holmes here. Very uneven, very frustrating first half for the Chiefs, but the Chiefs are winning the game. As we get some feedback here. Sorry about that. Terrible special teams play with the exception of Tommy Townsend. Fantastic defense and an anemic offense is my estimate of that first half. What do you think, Verderham?
I mean, look, you're really happy you're walking out of there with a lead in the ball coming out of the third quarter because offensively, I'm pretty sure they're betting the money line on the Colts. And the special teams, if you check close enough, I think they're actually on their smartphones on the sideline trying to get updated odds to see what they had to do to cover. I mean, you couldn't be any worse. You miss an extra point. Sky Moore shouldn't even have been fielding the ball that he fumbled. It's at the 5-yard line. Bro, get the hell away from the football, okay? Then you compound that with getting away from the ball and that ball being down at the 1, which that I can live with more. The ball's inside the 10. At least you got away from it. I'm not going to kill him on that. But my God, do they stink on special teams. Offensively, they've been awful. They have 102 yards. I'll tell you what. The best part of the game for me was the last seconds that we saw the telecast where Mahomes and Bieniemy were yelling at each other. At least there's some fire. Like, at least there's some juice. I'm actually happy to see that, honestly. I really do. Like, I'm good with it. Scream at each other. Cool. Fine. Scream all day long. Like, you got to figure out something. You're playing a defense you should shred. And let's be honest about something. Mahomes has not played well in this half. He missed a wide open touchdown to MVS in the first drive of the game. That's a touchdown. That ball's got to be on him, man. Like, bare minimum, you got to hit him with it and at least get 40, 50 yards there. That's a touchdown. Now, the flip side is, let's say this also, the defense looks like the 85 Bears today. The Colts cannot block him. Dunlap's been great. Karlaftis doesn't have a sack, but he's been everywhere. They've been very, very good at containing Taylor. Both teams have 102 yards of offense, which is gross. But the Chiefs defense, the Chiefs defense set up both touchdowns. I mean, they've given them short fields. As bad as they've played, if they come out and score a touchdown to start the second half of the game, I think they're probably going to run away with the game because I don't think the Colts can do anything. The Colts are brutal offensively. So it's been bad, and you should be pissed in a lot of ways. But at the same point, I think they're probably going to win the game. But it has not been a Mona Lisa so far.
I mean, let's take the glass half full approach here, okay? You got the negative out of the way. Let's do some positives. This defense, who we all thought was going to struggle early on, they've not struggled. I mean, Jalen Watson looks like a veteran. Screen passes, which in the past have destroyed this Chiefs defense, they're swallowing up. They've been outstanding. Even without Willie Gay Jr., Harris has been out of position once or twice I can think of. Still, they've been fine. Dunlap looks young. Looks like he still has something left in the tank. Frank Clark, congratulations, getting a sack out there. Nice to see a sighting from Frank Clark. But Watson has been such a phenomenal story. I would say Rashad Fitton has struggled a bit, but Juan Thornhill, absolutely great, right? L'Jarius Sneed has been everywhere. If you want to take some positives, think about what Spags has done with his defense. He's been rotating guys around in the defensive line and getting pressure from wherever he wants it. Spags has adjusted. I'm not a Spags supporter, right? I think that he's done some things that you sit here yelling at your TV time and time again. But the last half of last game, the first half of this game, he's made adjustments. Defense, which is young, looks good. Offense, they've struggled. Do you think Mahomes is going to continuously miss passes like that? I don't think so. I mean, there's your positive. O-line's been pretty poor, but they're still leading by 4. I can't be too upset when they've had so many things go against them and they're still winning. And it still looks like they continue to coast. I mean, let's be real here. Extra point missed. Sky Moore with the fumble, and that was the only reason why the Colts scored. And Mahomes missed a wide-open touchdown.
Yeah, we talked about this in our previewing of the show or of the game that, the Chiefs needed to expect a really heavy dose of Jonathan Taylor after he didn't get very many touches last week and the Colts didn't score any points. That's exactly what they've done. He's gotten 14 carries in this game, a couple targets for no yards in the passing game. 14 carries, 41 yards for a 2.9 clip. That is pretty damn impressive. And when they're passing the ball, Matt Ryan, who it's obvious the Chiefs are focused on one thing and one thing only, and that's stopping Jonathan Taylor. Despite that, Matt Ryan's still only averaging 4.9 yards per completion. He's hit a couple of bigger plays that guys have gone up and made nice plays on. But I mean, if you're watching this Chiefs defense, you got to feel pretty damn good about the performance in this one so far.
I got to be fair, though. One thing I will say, and I never say this because it's generally never the truth, Mahomes has got to be better. Like, at some point here, man, like last week, and look, that was a combination of a lot of things. Okay, they weren't protecting well in the early portion of the game. The Chargers have an amazing secondary. Like, they might have the best secondary in football. Okay, it's a short week. There's a lot of things that go into that. I'm willing to, like, okay, look, it happens. And he wasn't, like, he threw some balls at the other team, which is a big problem. But he also made some big time plays. I like the fact that Bieniemy got into him at the end of the half. Like, you need to be better. You are the best player in the world. 10 of 15 for 84 yards is not good enough. And by the way, I hope Bieniemy had that same energy for the receiving core who can't do shit. Get open. Okay, now Scantling, to be fair, got open and Mahomes missed him. Fair enough. Okay, Juju Smith-Schuster, get open, man. Like, get uncovered. You're playing a zone defense. Find holes in these zone coverages. It's not enough. Kelsey's been great. The backs have been okay. I mean, Edwards-Helaire has 2 catches, 12 yards, nothing to write home about. Kelsey's been their only offense today. Like, you need to figure that out. And I'll tell you one thing, too. If Justin Watson's going to keep beating guys, put him in the game. I don't care who's getting more money and who this. Like, put him in the football game. If the guy's getting open, give him the ball. And Justin Watson, look, great play. Give the Colts credit on that one play deep down the field at the end of the half. Very nice play. Very nice break up there by Thomas. But to me, that's how you've got to play. Like, if Watson's going to get open, fine. And more, for all of his bullshit on special teams, put him in the game. Let the kid do something on offense. I'm sick and tired of watching these receivers that can't get open. Mahomes is trying to make magic happen. This looks a lot like it did the middle of last year when they just could not get anybody open. And it just, everything took forever. Now, it was for different reasons last year. Shell coverages, all that stuff. They need to do a better job. And by the way, last thing I'll say, Andy at the goal line, God almighty. Stop with all the bullshit. The push pass to Kelsey. So crap. Why is Burton not in the game on every snap the 1 yard line? Just give him the football. You're the best interior offensive line in the league. You can't get a foot. They're going to do all this crap. They're lucky it didn't cost them. But it's just, that's the kind of stuff. All that said, the Colts look so god-awful offensively that if the Chiefs can score coming out of half, and they can make them not have Taylor anymore, and it's just got to become a game where Ryan has to win, good night. I don't see any avenue of that happening.
What do you think of the Bieniemy Mahomes instance right before half? Do you think that was Bieniemy getting into Mahomes a little bit, saying, hey, you know what? We're running the football because you are struggling. That throw, you tried airing it out. You had a guy 20 yards downfield, could have gone OB. I'm not saying that they just gave up, but that's basically what they did at the end of the half, right? And do you think part of that was Bieniemy going, you know what, Mahomes? This is on you. We're going to prove a point here. Try to light a fire underneath him.
I mean, I don't know that he was saying we're going to run the ball more, but I'll tell you what, I do think he was basically like, you need to play better. I think it was a general rule of, the general thought there. Like, you need to play better. Quite honestly, look, the Colts were fine that half defensively. How different does Mahomes' stat line look if he hits that touchdown pass to Scantling?
Right.
But, like, I'm not a big if fans. Hit him. You got to hit him. He's open. In the NFL, that's wide open. 2 steps in the NFL is wide open. That is not that difficult of a throw. That throw's got to be – and look, I understand if you hit him and maybe you take him a little bit out of stride. Okay, they tackle him for a 40-yard gain. You got to hit him, though. That ball's got to be on him. And I don't want to hear about, like, well, they don't have the chemistry down right. Come on. You've had the whole offseason. That's a go ball. That's why he's here. You've got to hit those. And Mahomes, to me, like, look, this all being said, we could easily come into the postgame, but yeah, Mahomes threw for 300 yards in the second half. I mean, I absolutely in play. But the bottom line is they have to just win this game. You are clearly the better team. The Colts suck. I mean, let's just call it what it is. That team's awful. They got to win this game. If they win this game, you're not going to care what it looks like. They'll fix it as time goes on. You have to win this game. By the way, the Raiders are getting smoked in Nashville right now. So you can gain another game on them if you win.
What do you guys think the issue is with the offense? Is it obviously we don't have the all 22 right now. We can only see what we can see on the broadcast. So we don't know if guys are open or not. But is it a chemistry thing? Is Mahomes holding onto the ball, trying to make a big play and missing the open guys? Something's got to be going on here. There's a reason why Bieniemy was a little upset.
I would also say Leonard Brown Jr. is getting beat a decent amount out there. If you want to be the highest paid tackle in the NFL, you got to have a better performance than that. That's an issue. It looks like the O-line's at 100%, obviously with Andrew Wiley, Trey Smith, maybe not 100% as well. they look banged up, and it's showing. The Colts do have a decent front four with Ngakoue and DeForest Buckner. So that's the one thing for the Colts that they have going for them, and they're taking advantage of it. But yeah, receivers have to win their routes early on. Maybe Mahomes is looking downfield too much, and we'll see post-game. That's the issue. But Juju Smith-Schuster was brought in to be a great mid-range guy, 8-yard guy. Where's that play? Where's him getting separation in that 5 to 10-yard range?
Lastly, real quick, and then I'm out of thoughts as we're getting ready for halftime. How about calling a screen pass?
Right.
Like, you're getting beat up front a little bit at times, okay? You're getting beat up front a little. You have 3 different backs who can catch the ball. How about, like, swinging one out behind all those offensive linemen and letting them get into space? How about that? How about ever running, like, a mesh concept underneath? Like, that is the one thing where if Mahomes wants to yell at the enemy, I'm all for it. Like, Eric, Andy, call a couple of easy plays. Not everything's got to be 20 yards, but we're getting ready for the game. Let's see if the Chiefs don't screw it up.
All right, everybody. We will be back after the game for the Arrowhead Addict post-game show. Keep the faith, and as always, go Chiefs.